Hi guys, it's me, April Ezell. It's been quite a while since I've made a video. I made a video I think 10 days before my husband came home. So just to catch you up, my husband was in for 2 weeks. He was here from June 26th through July 12th, and yesterday was the 12th. I had to take him to the airport yesterday, and I didn't cry, but you could tell that it was just this overwhelming emotion, because when he hugged me, my husband doesn't cry. My husband is stone faced and just wants to be strong for me and his family. And it was very emotional, and I cried when I got home because I didn't want to overwhelm him. Or I've made it 7 months up until his 2 weeks of leave, and I honestly thought that because I had made it that long, that saying goodbye the second time wouldn't be as hard, but it's not easy either. I think because the 2 weeks is almost like a tease, or in a way I told my husband it was like a slap in the face, because I'd been alone all this time and I'd waited and I was so anxious, and then when he got here, we made the most of every moment that we had, because it's summer and we went swimming, and 4th of July, we saw fireworks. We tried to make the most, cram as much fun in 2 weeks, that we could, to make up for the year that, he's pretty much lost, being in Kuwait, on his deployment. And, so, just so you know, I did make a video, or his mother videotaped, his arrival from the Greensboro airport, and his first initial reaction when he saw all of us. I will definitely be posting that video, and I really wanted to make this video on the pros and cons of being a military wife, or my idea of pros and cons of being an Army wife. I don't live on base. A lot of you that have watched my videos know that I do not live on base. We live in Greensboro, North Carolina. We live in a normal neighborhood, which even if I had an opportunity to live on base, I don't think I'd want to, because I don't know, I just kind of enjoy the domestic home life. I don't know. I enjoy having a yard and regular neighbors and living somewhat of a normal life. Some of the pros would be that, for one, it's really good benefits. Your medical, your dental, everything is pretty much covered. I think they pay for 2 surgeries if you have them done, your wisdom teeth. A con is definitely the distance. The distance sucks so much, especially if you're newlyweds or, engaged, or the distance is awful. Our relationship is pretty much based on FaceTime and Skype. It's very difficult to deal with, and it helps. Another pro would be knowing other people that are going through the same situation, because then it's a little more comforting for you to know people and to have someone to talk to. And a con would be a lot of people that we know that are in his unit that I met at his family day, especially this one couple that actually got married the same day. So I felt like we had this mutual bond because, we shared our wedding date, I guess. And unfortunately, so many people, the divorce rate is really high, especially if you get married before deployment rather than after, or I guess maybe some people might even get married on their leave. But I could see that being difficult as far as honeymoon, or I don't know. It's, personal preference as far as when you would get married, but I know that it's really hard, especially for us, because we got married in September, and then, by Thanksgiving, he was, in Texas at Fort Hood before his deployment, and we lived together before, and so pretty much getting used to being together 24/7 and being inseparable to not seeing each other at all was a lot to take in and a lot to adjust to. Another con would be learning to take care of things by yourself. In a way, I have been very sheltered in my life. I'm a small town country girl from Virginia, and my grandparents have always, looked out for me. I mean, my grandparents didn't raise me. My parents are divorced, but like my grandparents have always been a major part of my growing up, and so I had never really paid bills. And my husband is usually the one that takes care of that. As we were living together, he would always be the one to take care of the bills and when they were due, and I really didn't have to worry about anything. But now that he's deployed, I had no idea how to even pay bills until he left. Another thing is when you get married, there's a whole lot of paperwork with changing your name, joint checking account, anything like that. For me, I had to get my North Carolina license, which I just got, which I'm really excited about. I was actually really nervous. Funny story, I actually got really nervous taking my driver's test because Virginia and North Carolina they're very similar. Obviously the road signs and stuff are the same, but the rules of the road are a little bit different. A pro would be that your husband has a stable job, and that being in the military is considered work experience. So when he does come home in 3 months, he'll be home before October, but when he does come home, he will have a very good chance of finding a good, stable civilian job, which I'm pretty sure is what he's going to want to do rather than re-enlisting. He signed up for 6 years before we had even met, so I kind of married the Army too. But when he does come back, he won't be eligible for deployment again. He will pretty much just go to drill once a month here in Greensboro. A con... Another con would be sharing him on leave, because you only have 2 weeks. And my friend actually suggested this book that I should get, because I got so stressed out within the 2 weeks that he was here, because everyone wants to see him and spend time with him, and at the same time I'm I just want to spend time, have one-on-one time with my husband. And because I had missed him so much, obviously he was going to be staying here in our house, but it was really hard to share him with everyone. I obviously knew that it was important for him to spend time or have a boys' day with his brothers and his dad golfing or something, but sharing was definitely hard, and people put so much pressure on you to make your rounds that it was very overwhelming. Another pro would be a GI Bill, that if you did want to go back to school, as far as I know, I think they help with the wife situation as well. I'm not using a GI Bill. I'm a certified dental assistant. But if I did want to go back for dental hygiene, I'm pretty sure that they would pay for all of it, if not most of it. Let's see. Another con would probably be post-traumatic stress disorder. My husband is not in infantry. He is a mechanic. He works on the Humvee. Sometimes he tells me that he hasn't even really done much mechanic work since he's been there. Sometimes he gets paid to just kind of drive important people around, or as far as my husband, I thought that his mentality would be a little different when he came home, because it was a lot to adjust to, because before he left, we were living in Raleigh, and he'd never stayed in this house. He obviously helped me pick it out before he left, but I moved us here, and his parents were in an apartment before he left, and now they're in a house, and the first day for me, I felt like, I mean, I'm so used to being alone by this point, and for him to be home, I felt like I had to entertain somebody, or, like, we couldn't even sit on the couch without me asking him, like, do you need anything to drink? Ask him if he needed anything, ask him if, you know, if he was looking for something, try to help him find where it was. He's very independent, and, you know, I felt like I had to just, like, entertain or, like, carry on a conversation rather than just spend time together, because I'm just not used to having someone around. Even though we talk every single day on FaceTime or Skype, I assure you that it's just not the same. Another pro would be an opportunity of travel. The fact that, I mean, he does have a stable job, stable income, you know, that way you can save money. I would suggest that, you know, working yourself, so that way you can keep yourself busy. It definitely helps the time go by faster, but the opportunity to travel, I know that we're making plans for, see, he's going to come home in October before Halloween, and we're making plans to spend sometime around Christmas in Mexico with his family, because he has 2 sisters that live in Florida and his mother lives in Canada. So we're going to have, like, Christmas, if not Christmas, around Christmas, or like his family Christmas in Mexico. So that's really exciting. I know that a lot of people travel, so that's one thing you can look forward to. For example, like, I know there's a lot of Marine bases, or a Marine base in California. Never been to California, always wanted to go. But you definitely have that opportunity to be able to travel and see the world. Another pro would be that being a military wife, everyone in my neighborhood knows I'm a military wife, because there's obviously a yellow ribbon on the front tree, there's American flags out in the yard. So people are always looking out for you and always wanting to help. Like, the day that I moved in, my neighbor's like, if you ever need any sort of tool, just ask. That he pretty much would have whatever it is that I needed, that he would be more than happy to come over and help me hang curtains. Or, you know, do little odd and maintenance around the house. I definitely like that, and everyone's just really, really supportive. And I wanted to make this video. Well, I wanted to make this video to, you know, update you on my husband's leave. And I would have made a video with him, but, like, I can't get him to sit still long enough, especially since, you know, he had this major excitement about being home and had, like, a list or a bucket list of things that he wanted to do before it was time to leave. And make this video so that you know a little more about my pros and cons of being a military wife, and share it with my viewers. And if you have any questions, I plan on making a video on questions that I've been asked about, you know, my personal life as far as being a military wife. And so just feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you soon.